Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Military Mayday. Got a couple articles here. We're going to go over. One of them is the Houthi militants struck a U.S.-owned commercial ship off the coast of Yemen, playing right into the hands of World War III. I'm pretty sure the U.S. warned against this over retaliation, but apparently must be all part of the Houthis' plans to push us around. The other one's going to be Iran fires ballistic missiles at targets in Iraq and Syria. This is also a big deal. If you notice, things are starting to focus back over to the Middle East, and that's where a lot of our money will be going next. If you like this information, why don't you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Other people might want to hear this. They might want to read through the articles. Some people don't read. They like other people to read it out for them, and I do a little bit of the best I can. I'm not the greatest, but anyway, smash the like button, subscribe. Let's get to it here. Houthi rebels in Yemen struck a U.S.-owned and operated container ship with an anti-ship ballistic missile on Monday as it passed through the Red Sea, U.S. military said. According to the U.S. Central Command, the missile hit the MV Gibraltar Eagle, a commercial carrier flagged to the Marshall Islands around 4 p.m. local time after being fired from Houthi-controlled territory in Yemen. No injuries or significant damage were reported. The latest attack comes less than a week after the United States and the United Kingdom, along with their allies, began conducting a series of airstrikes against Houthi targets in Yemen. The Pentagon says the U.S. and its allies hit 60 Houthi targets across 28 locations in the past Thursday, followed by another round of strikes over the weekend. The campaign by the U.S. and its allies came in response to the recent uptick in Houthi attacks against commercial vessels sailing through the Red Sea past Yemen, which has dodged international shipping through the area. These targeted strikes are a clear message to the United States and our partners will not tolerate attacks on our personnel or allow hostile actors in imperial freedom of navigation in one of the world's most critical commercial routes. President Biden said when he announced the strike last week, "I will not hesitate to direct further measures to protect our people and the free flow of international commerce as necessary." U.S. military said Monday that the Houthis fired another missile toward the Red Sea shipping lanes earlier in the afternoon, but that missile failed mid-flight and landed on the ground in Yemen. No injuries or damage were reported in that incident. The Houthis say they're attacking commercial ships with ties to Israel until Israel ends its military campaign against Hamas in Gaza, which began after the attack on October 7th. The Iranian-backed rebel group has used fighters and drones to attack ships and also fired missiles at vessels passing through the southern Red Sea, forcing more than 2,000 ships to divert their course and avoid an attack. Some of the attacks have damaged ships, but U.S. warships have not shot down many of the missiles and drones. The surge in attacks by the Houthis and their vocal support from Iran has raised fears that the war between Israel and Hamas could grow into a wider conflict in the Middle East. Yeah, I agree with that one. The spokesperson for Iran, which supported the Houthis, said weapons, intelligence, and other aid blasted by the airstrikes by Western powers and said the rebel would continue targeting ships in the Red Sea. This is NPR, I guess it is. So there you have it. Personally, I would have probably regrouped after that many places struck by U.S. and U.K. both on your ass, but what can I say, huh? I mean, I'm not them. Sorry, but the U.S. is not weak by no means, even if they try to make it look like they are. Iran fires ballistic missile at targets in Iraq and Syria. Iran aims to destroy spy headquarters and anti-Iranian terrorist groups in the region. Iran's IRGC has claimed responsibility for ballistic missile attacks in Erbil in Iraq, Kurdistan, and Syria on Monday night, the official Islamic Republic news agency reported. Targets in Erbil are reported to include a base hosting U.S. military personnel and a Mossad headquarters, while the IRGC said that it was aiming for ISIS and other militant groups in Syria, Erna reported. Well, isn't that funny? Two U.S. officials told Reuters that no American bases were affected by missile strikes in Erbil and there were no U.S. casualties. The claimed attack on the Mossad headquarters was retaliation for targeting the IRGC leaders, the organization said. This headquarters was responsible for planning and running espionage operations and terrorist activities in the region, mainly our beloved country, it said. The IRGC also used Shahed 136 drones in the attacks in Iraq and Syria, according to Erna. The airport in Erbil stopped traffic after explosions were heard above the city. Iraqi security forces told Reuters. The counterterrorism service in Kurdistan said that 4 civilians were killed and 6 wounded, some of them in critical condition. This is a blatant violation to the Iraq sovereignty and Kurdistan region. The federal government and the international community must not remain silent in regarding this crime. Earlier, the Foreign Relations Office of the Kurdistan Democratic Party, one of 2 power parties in the region, said that the number of civilians were killed in the attack. Said a number of civilians were killed in the attack. Doesn't give a number. They included well-known Kurdish businessman Pishid Izer. His wife and close family members did not give more details. Did they die? Now maybe that was, I don't know. Erna alleged that Mr. Diaz had close ties to Mossad. The news outlet provided no evidence for the claim. The IRGC said the attacks in the 3-province Kurdish regime aimed to destroy spy headquarters and anti-Iranian terrorist groups in the region. Iran said the attacks were in response to the recent terror crimes of the enemy of Islamic Iran, the spy headquarters, and the gathering of anti-Iranian terrorist groups in parts of the region. ISIS was targeted in the headquarters of militant groups in the Idlib in Syria in response to the group's recent terrorist attacks in Iran. 2 suicide bombers detonated their explosives, and thousands of mourners gathered this month to commemorate the 4th anniversary of the death of the Revolutionary Guard General Qasim Soleimani. ISIS claimed responsibility for the attack, which killed 91 people and nearly 300 others. Soleimani was killed in the U.S. drone strike in Baghdad on January 3rd, amid a long-running low-level conflict between pro-Tehran militias and U.S. American drones fired 3 missiles at his convoy and left Baghdad airport, killing him and Iraqi military leader Abdu Mabdi Ali Bushivit and several aides. The U.S. said at the time that the Soleimani was planning intimate actions against U.S. personnel in Iraq. The assassination sparked fears of direct military confrontation between the U.S. and Iran. There were rocket attacks in Iraqi military bases where U.S. troops are stationed. 5 days after Iran fired missiles at an air base in Iraq housing U.S. troops and another near Erbil, injuring several U.S. troops. So, proxy armies and soon-to-be full-blown armies at war, looking like to me. Personally, I'd rather just everybody get shelled out a bunch of money and we just go party, but it's not how it's going to be, it don't look like. Don't know what to tell you guys. Like, subscribe. Toodaloo.